Yes, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for taking the time, man. I appreciate it.
My absolute pleasure, man. Thank you for having me.
First thing I got to bring up is I read on the internet that you were dead. Is that true? Can you confirm that or deny that?
Yeah, it's so jacked up that not only did someone like think to create like the whole fake obituary and all that stuff,
Yeah.
but my younger cousin had to read that
Oh,
and was
no.
traumatized by that and broken by that and called me in her dad called me in hysterics, and it caused like people in my family tremendous amounts of pain, and people are real cavalier with like talking about it and bringing it up, and the fact that it was created without stopping for 2 seconds to think, what's that going to be like on that human being's end when people perpetuate the rumor that you died, and that people who know you that haven't heard from you in a minute believe because of the verisimilitude with which it's written. Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah, and it's because you took a break for a little while for health reasons, and when so a lot of times
Incorrect. That was a rumor.
again was that a
Incorrect,
rumor?
my brother. And again,
Oh my God!
that was yeah. Again, I think that people so wanted me. Bourdain warned me about this stuff, man. He said that there's plenty of sick Fs that probably want me. He said, the notion of almost watching Siegfried and Roy because that people want to see them get a quote unquote taste for German. He said, but he said you just need to be vigilant because there will be a number of sick bastards that really want to see something bad happen to you. So no, it had nothing to do with that. I had done nearly 60 episodes. It was awesome, but there was only so much variety, and there was a chance to do some other things and tell other stories through food and elevate other restaurants in a different way and elevate other people who wanted to do challenges and sandwich places and sports venues and stuff. So no, it wasn't about health at all, my friend.
Well, that's good to know. Adam Richman, alive and well, and coming back with the food that built America. Sunday, coming back on the History Channel. And from what I've read about it, you're covering one of my favorite foods, and I don't even call it a guilty pleasure because I still love them, despite what my doctor says, and that's Spaghettios, which I'm so glad.
God bless you for doing that.
Yeah,
No. No shame in it. No shame
no
in it
shame
whatsoever. No, but people don't realize like there's an innovation. Like it's hard to believe in 2024 that in the early 1960s, not even a century ago, Italian food was seen as weird and ethnic and too garlicky and too strange. In Prohibition, they almost cracked down on it. And then it was only the late 40s when World War II GIs came back to America and wanted to try the foods they had in Italy that there was some kind of rise with a little bit of Italian immigration, like of these restaurants, but it was an adult food. And Don Gerke goes, wait a minute, let's make a spoonable pasta for kids. It's affordable, it's reproducible. And the reason it's the O is inspired by the thought bubbles in the Sunday Funnies. And people don't realize there's 4 different sizes of O for that reason. Beyond that, the most iconic jingle of all time, it came when one of the developers brought some of the prototype home for his son to try. Kids drops it on his T-shirt rather, and says, "Daddy, Spaghettio."
Oh my
Exactly
God!
how the logo jingle began. Mm-hmm.
That's why I love this show. It's so fascinating that stuff we take for granted now, like Italian food, and you mentioned that people thought it was strange and exotic, and now it's permeated everywhere. We were just talking about a story on the air about KFC releasing what they're calling the chizza, and it's a pizza, and instead of a dough crust, the crust is made out of fried chicken. And I praise the maker every day I'm alive for these things. But it's like now Italian food is just omnipresent, right? It's insane. And so you're saying Spaghettios kind of started that.
Well, they were a big part of it. And,
Okay.
and the fact that it came from Campbell's, who was already part of it, well, the innovation with Spaghettios was number one, first savory product, major savory product directed straight at kids. There were maybe some cereals, candy, a drink like Tang, but by the time Spaghettios came out, it was novel. And here it was there couldn't be a Lunchable without that. The idea of a kid or even, a parent in a rush could open a can, heat up a pot, stir, kids are delighted, and it's a fun jingle. It's the taste. But to think Prego now is number one selling pasta sauce in America, but the two men who developed it were told expressly to stop, and they developed it in secret, and they could have gotten fired for doing it. And it was because people are saying there's no way you can use chunky, fresh vegetables, keep them shelf stable, keep them good, and Americans aren't going to want, the pasta sauces that existed was thin and orange and sweet. And then these guys, in secret, developed this sauce. And again, think about the time, right? Like, you don't have to watch an episode of Mad Men. So it wasn't the easiest time for a female executive. And this lady named Laurel Cutler just brilliantly plays with a bunch of different Italian words and comes up with a word that means please and you're welcome. Prego.
Yeah, that is, I love that stuff so much. So I'm so glad we're getting another season of this on the History Channel Sunday night. I want to ask you also quickly, you had a show, Adam Richman's Best Sandwich in America. And the sandwich to me is one of the perfect foods. I mean, it depends what you fill it, but I just love a good sandwich. And you said it was a sandwich in Philadelphia at the Reading Terminal Market, and it was a pork sandwich that you deemed the best sandwich in America. Now, I just want to ask, people are passionate about this stuff. Did you get any death threats?
Oh, like on an episode basis. One of the things that always killed me was that they changed, unfortunately, budgets changed the number of episodes. I had wanted to do like a Sweet 16, and we had to condense like the whole Northeast, and they led off with that one. To me, that's like your cleanup hitter. And to put like Katz's pastrami against Primanti's in Pittsburgh,
oh, yeah,
and then declare for the Nick's roast pork in Philly, I mean, even my friend Jake Dell, who I adore from Katz's Deli, was like, Judas, you know what I mean? and my friend from, and I love those sandwiches. Katz's pastrami, a Primanti's capicola and egg, hot, when they serve it to you on the wax paper with an Iron City beer.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm saying, and it's completely one schmuck's preference. Like, you could go and say, Adam Richman, you know what I mean? Your taste buds are as effective as a solar-powered flashlight. I'm going to go and do my own thing and, like, rock on, man. And I wish we were able to do a Sweet 16. I wish we could have done, like, personally, I would have done, like, a New York City. Then I would have done a Northeast, because there's just such a condensed culinary community. Who knows that some chopped cheese up in Harlem isn't the best sandwich, or some crab cake sandwich somewhere in Maryland isn't, or, you know what I'm saying? Nick Fu Young sandwich where in St. Louis isn't just like banging.
Yeah. So you're from Brooklyn, right?
Correctamundo.
Okay. So if I were to drive, I am in Worcester, Massachusetts. It takes us a few hours to drive down to New York City. Who has the best?
You guys are in Massachusetts now, correct?
Yes. So if I
may.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Well, okay. Well, if I were to drive down to New York City right now, who has the best Italian-style sandwich in the 5 boroughs?
Oh, my God. You want to get me killed? Oh, my God. You legitimately want to see me killed?
I mean, if you want to stay silent.
No, it's not. It's not me being like a little, a little wussy about it. Oh my God. I've had some really, really good ones. Sal, Chris, and Charlie's. Everyone knows about. So many different delis up here in Westchester, where I live now. But gosh, you guys are in Massachusetts. Have you guys ever been to G Bar and Grill in Swampscott, Massachusetts?
I have not. I will put that on my list.
Listen to me, all of your listeners. Listen, G Bar and Grill has this gnocchi that has, and this, he does, it's like eggplant, but he slices like razor thin and he layers it like a milfoil cake. But this, that and this gnocchi, I'm like, when you like lick a 9-volt battery, you feel it in the back of your jaw? Like, that's what I feel right now thinking about it. I've never had anything. It looks like you put it against your tongue to the roof of your mouth, and it's like those old Calgon like bubble bath commercials. Like, you take a bite, you're like, oh, I'm in Aruba right now, bro. I'm not
here. I will check that out for sure upon your recommendation. Adam, everybody, watch The Food That Built America. Some really fascinating stories on the History Channel coming back on Sunday. Adam Richman, thank you very much. And please visit us if you're ever up in Massachusetts, and we'll show you where all the good sandwiches are here in Worcester.
Absolutely. I'll bring the chips.
Nice.
You got it, bro.